Yeah.
But I try to control myself, you know. This like, okay, because I know everything, this what come to me, this is from God, you know.
That was Khabibnurmagomedov explaining how he manages to stay grounded despite fame and fortune. Georges St-Pierre built a $30 million empire but still shops at regular grocery stores. Daniel Cormier earned millions inside the Octagon, yet spends his free time volunteering at local high schools. These are insanely wealthy UFC legends who continue to live like ordinary people. Let's start with Khabibnurmagomedov. When you retire undefeated at 29-0 and earn over $40 million, most fighters would be living in penthouses and driving exotic cars. But not Khabib. The Eagle still calls a modest 4-bedroom home in his remote Dagestani village of Sildi his sanctuary, a place neighbors describe as just like ours, only bigger. It's no mansion with infinity pools or golden gates, just a simple, functional house built in traditional Avar style, with wooden beams, prayer rugs in every room, and a backyard garden where his family grows their own herbs and vegetables. During his UFC career, Khabib made over $22.9 million, with his biggest payday coming from the 2018 fight against Conor McGregor, reportedly earning more than $10 million, including pay-per-view cuts. After retiring in 2020, he launched Eagle Fighting Championship, generating around $5 to $7 million annually, along with endorsement deals from Puma and Reebok that add another 7 figures each year. But despite all that success, his lifestyle hasn't changed. At 37 years old in 2025, Khabib still begins each morning at dawn with the Far prayer, followed by a simple breakfast of oats, eggs, and black tea made by his wife, Patamat. By 7 a.m., he's at the Akhmat Fight Club in Makhachkala, sparring with young fighters half his age, even helping tape their hands and treat their cuts himself. Lunch is usually shashlik from a street vendor or homemade plav, eaten cross-legged on the gym floor with his trainees. His car choices say it all: no Rolls-Royce, no Ferrari. Just a Toyota Land Cruiser for mountain trips and a Hyundai Tucson for family errands. Khabib's perspective on fame and wealth is simple but powerful. True greatness isn't about what you own. It's about how you live when no one's watching.
Famous, like you said, there's a lot of temptation and people go crazy. Like, did that ever affect you, or were you always just dialed, like...
No, this affect me, of course.
Yeah.
But I try to control myself, you know. This like, okay. Because I know everything, this what come to me, this is from God, you know.
He's been spotted riding public buses in Moscow and biking to local markets back home in Dagestan. Since 2021, Khabib's has funneled over $10 million into youth programs across the region, building free academies that teach both MMA and literacy. He often shows up unannounced, gloves on, ready to spar with the kids himself. Khabibnurmagomedov may be worth $40 million, but he still lives in a humble village home and drives simple cars. Yet, the next fighter proves that Khabib isn't the only one who's stayed grounded despite massive wealth. Meet Georges St-Pierre. The Canadian icon could easily afford a mansion in Beverly Hills, but he chose something entirely different. At 44 years old, GSP lives in a cozy 2-story red brick bungalow in Montreal's Outremont district, a home he bought back in the early 2010s for under $1 million. It's the kind of neighborhood where people still wave from their driveways, and nobody looks twice when he jogs past in the mornings. Inside, there's a practical kitchen for meal prepping his high-protein staples, a small home gym with just the essentials, and a wooden deck out back where he hosts summer barbecues for close friends. As of 2025, his net worth sits somewhere between $20 and $30 million, built from over $15 million in UFC fight purses, including a $4 million payday from his 2017 comeback win over Michael Bisping for the middleweight title. After retirement, GSP transitioned seamlessly into acting, landing roles in blockbusters like Captain America, The Winter Soldier. He also authored a best-selling memoir that sold over 100,000 copies worldwide and today earns up to $50,000 per appearance as a motivational speaker. Yet through it all, his lifestyle remains astonishingly ordinary. He drives a sensible Audi Q5 hybrid for daily commutes and a pickup truck for weekend mountain trips. In a 2025 Instagram reel, he shared his average Saturday, sipping coffee from an old mug, jogging along the St. Lawrence River, then heading to the local Metro supermarket where he blends in among retirees and young families. A typical day begins at sunrise with meditation inspired by Stoic philosophy. Marcus Aurelius is a favorite, followed by a 6 a.m. yoga session streamed from his own app. By mid-morning, he's at a community center coaching amateur wrestlers, quietly funding programs for at-risk youth without ever attaching his name. For Georges St-Pierre, greatness was never about fame or money. It's about balance, discipline, and peace of mind, values he lives by every single day.
It's not healthy to carry around grudges.
And it make you feel good sometimes too.
Yeah, it feels real good. And it feels real bad to keep that hate and anger inside of you.
In the evenings, Georges St-Pierre unwinds with documentaries on ancient history or by studying jiu-jitsu movements in his basement. One spare room in his home quietly holds his private passion, a collection of over 200 dinosaur fossils, displayed humbly on simple wooden shelves. Beyond his personal interests, GSP has donated more than $5 million to anti-bullying charities since 2020 and actively supports mental health programs for athletes. He's got $30 million in the bank, yet he still jogs public streets, shops at local markets, and lives in a modest suburban bungalow. But this next fighter takes down-to-earth to another level. His fortune doesn't stop him from mowing his own lawn every weekend. Daniel Cormier. DC's story proves that you don't need mansions, supercars, or private jets to live like a champion. The two-division UFC kingpin, with a professional record of 22-3-1, has built a comfortable life worth around $6 to $7 million as of October 2025. But you'd never guess it from the way he lives. At 46, Daniel Cormier calls a sprawling yet modest 5-bedroom ranch house in San Jose's Willow Glen neighborhood home, a property he purchased in 2016 for $1.2 million and later expanded, not with a theater or a pool, but with a simple backyard playset for his kids. His UFC career earned him over $12 million in disclosed purses, including a $2.5 million base payday plus bonuses from his 2018 trilogy with Stipe Miocic. After hanging up the gloves that same year, Cormier pivoted to broadcasting with ESPN, signing a deal reportedly worth between $500,000 and $1 million annually for his commentary work. But step into DC's world, and you won't find the glitz of celebrity life. You'll find a proud, everyday dad. Neighbors often see him mowing the lawn in cargo shorts and a faded Raiders tee. His driveway, parked with a 2022 Ford F-150 pickup, used to haul his kids' sports gear, and a 2019 Honda Odyssey minivan for family road trips. Cormier's roots keep him grounded. Raised in Lafayette, Louisiana, by a single mother who worked double shifts as a waitress, he scraped through community college on wrestling scholarships before rising to Olympic glory and UFC superstardom. Even now, his mornings in 2025 start at 5:30 a.m. with black coffee and a quick jog around the block before driving his 3 kids to school in that same minivan. By mid-morning, he's at Gilroy High School, where he's served as head wrestling coach since 2023, barking drills, motivating teenagers, and earning not a dollar for his time, just respect. For Daniel Cormier, legacy isn't built on cars or cash. It's built on community, humility, and the lives you lift along the way.
What we ultimately do is we fight. We fight, and all that other stuff is fleeting. That legacy is what's gonna stay and stand the test of time. So it's like you gotta really make sure that you are trying to establish that when you're gone, everybody still remembers the things that you did.
Through his DC House charity, founded in 2020, Daniel Cormier has donated over $2 million to at-risk youth programs. He's sitting on $7 million, yet still spends his mornings volunteering at high schools, earning zero pay and endless respect. And he's not alone. This next fighter's wealth hasn't changed the way he starts his day, braiding his daughter's hair before school. Dustin Poirier. When the Diamond retired from the UFC in July 2025, headlining UFC 318 in his hometown of New Orleans, he walked away with a fortune between $6 and $10 million. But you'd never know it by the way he lives. Poirier built that wealth the hard way, through relentless fighting and smart business moves. Over 14 years in the UFC, his disclosed earnings topped $16 million. His legendary trilogy with Conor McGregor alone poured nearly $10 million into his pocket, with $2.1 million coming from his 2021 knockout win at UFC 257 and around $5 million each for the 2 rematches that followed. After hanging up the gloves, Poirier's financial empire quietly expanded. The Poirier's Louisiana-style hot sauce brand, launched in 2021 with his wife Jolie, became a national hit, pulling in over $3 million in 2025 sales across Walmart shelves, featuring Cajun-inspired flavors like Diamond Dust and Habanero Heat. Meanwhile, the Good Fight Foundation, which Poirier founded back in 2018, has raised more than $4 million for Louisiana community centers, rebuilding homes, funding youth sports, and feeding families in need. But for a man who could easily buy bayou mansions and luxury boats, Dustin's life after fighting feels more like a heartfelt homecoming. At 36, he and Jolie live in a cozy 2-story craftsman home in Lafayette's River Ranch Enclave, a white clapboard house with a wraparound porch, bought in 2022 for $750,000. Inside, the kitchen is warm and lived in. Cast iron skillets hang from the walls, and his daughter Parker's crayon art decorates the fridge. His driveway, a 2023 Chevy Silverado for fishing trips in the Atchafalaya Basin, and a hybrid Toyota RAV4 for school runs. A crisp fall morning in 2025 starts the same way it always has. Black coffee, a bowl of oatmeal spiked with his own hot sauce, and then Parker's braiding session, what he calls his daily decompression. As he told ESPN that summer, his philosophy on money and fame is simple. Fans focus on the spotlight. But for me, it's about what you build when it fades. For Dustin Poirier, wealth isn't measured in dollars. It's measured in gratitude, in family, and in the roots that keep him grounded.
I don't know why in mixed martial arts fans and stuff are so concerned with fighters' money and contract. There's so much money counting that doesn't matter. Just watch the fight or don't watch the fight.
By 8 a.m., Dustin Poirier has already dropped his daughter Parker off at school and is heading to an American top team satellite gym, not as a star, but as a volunteer coach. His Good Fight Foundation's September 2025 toy drive donated 500 bikes to foster kids across Louisiana. Poirier's banked over $10 million but still lives in a modest craftsman home, eats homemade meals, and spends his mornings giving back. And yet, this next fighter's millions haven't moved him an inch from his chain-link fence neighborhood in Stockton, California. Nate Diaz. The Stockton legend has never played by anyone's rules. Not inside the cage, not outside of it. And that extends to how he lives. With a net worth of roughly $8 million as of October 2025, Nate could easily afford luxury homes and fast cars. Instead, he's doubled down on his roots. His UFC career brought in over $10 million in purses, peaking with the $5 million payday from his unforgettable 2016 clash with Conor McGregor. Since becoming a free agent in 2022, Diaz has built fresh revenue streams. A $1.5 million boxing purse from his 2023 bout with Jorge Masvidal, his Gamebred FC